If you bought the Temmet Precon, you're going to want to cut these 10 cards to replace with these 10 budget cards.
And if you don't have a budget because you're a baller, you want to cut these 10 additional cards and add these 10 cards.
Baller Zombie Wizard.
Baller Zombie Wizard, let's get into it.
Temmet, Noctimon's Will. Whenever you draw a card, all zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
He just ends games on his own.
This is the master of the zombie army right here.
Our first cut is Twisted Abomination. I like Swamp Cycling, but in general, this card stinks.
Our second cut is Vizier of Many Faces. Clone effects are good when you know what you're going to be copying, but we're more about quantity than quality for this deck.
Our third cut is Maskwood Nexus. Congrats, you have a Maskwood Nexus now in your collection, but we already run zombies. We're just running zombies anyway.
The whole deck is zombies. Our fourth and fifth cuts are Gate to the Afterlife and God Pharaoh's Gift. The word non-token kind of burns Gate to the Afterlife, and then 7 mana is just too many for that effect.
Our sixth cut is Gleaming Overseer. A mass just is not really what we're looking for, and Menace is nice for our zombie tokens, but we don't care about hexproof. Overall, a very slight miss.
Our seventh cut is Angel of Sanctions. Oblivion Ring is already a barely playable commander card, and enchantments are so much harder to get rid of than creatures. And paying 6 to embalm this to get that and then have a zombie left over is just not worth it.
Our eighth cut is Timeless Dragon. If this isn't proof that the Precon is actually pretty freaking good, then I don't know what is.
It was so hard to make cuts.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good card, but it narrowly misses compared to what we're adding.
And then our 9th and 10th cuts are Temple of Silence and Temple of Deceit. This deck came with a whopping 39 lands, so we're going to cut it down to 37.
It also had a ton of RAM too.
Yeah.
And now to the ads. Our first and second ads are Verena Lich Queen and Rafine Scheming Seer. These two read very similar, and they are so freaking good in this deck. You're attacking, you're drawing a ton of cards, you're pumping up all your stuff, and as a bonus, Verena happens to also go wide.
Our third ad is Struggle for Project Purity. This is a sneakily powerful Fallout card that has been creeping up in price because people have realized drawing 3 extra cards every turn is actually pretty good.
Especially when that's coupled with your draw phase and making everything +4/+4. Why not? Our fourth and fifth ads are Unified Will and Your Temple is Under Attack. This Precon did not come with protection at all, and as a bonus for your temple, you could also just choose to pump all your stuff by 2.
Our 6th and 7th ads are Keep Watch and Brainstorm. These are both really efficient ways to draw a lot of cards in your combat phase.
Our 8th card, Wonder, just gives all your creatures flying. It's really freaking simple.
But how are you going to discard it to the graveyard?
By reading your commander.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our 9th ad is Diagraph Colossus. This dude is huge, which is awesome, but what this Precon is really lacking is ways to make lots of zombies, and this dude is definitely going to do that for us.
And speaking of going wide, our 10th ad, Liliana Dreadhorde General, is the queen at doing everything your opponents don't want you to do. Draw cards, kill
zombies.
Other people's stuff, make zombies, why not? It does so much.
I can't believe we can finally put this in the budget section too.
I know, it's about time.
It feels wrong.
Yeah, it feels great. All right, and you know we have to address lands real quick. We're cutting Desert of the Mindful, Glorified, and of the True, along with Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse. Tap lands are terrible. We always advocate against them, and the cycling just isn't enough payoff despite how cheeky it is with the commander.
So the 5 lands you're going to play instead are Contaminated Landscape, Cephalid Coliseum, Hydroelectric Specimen, Sajiri Shelter, and Reliquary Tower.
We've said in the past that when you're drawing a ton of cards, MDFCs just get that much more value. This deck only cares about drawing a ton of cards, so we're going to be getting that much more value from our MDFCs. And if you're still around because you proxy or you're a software engineer, we got 10 freaking amazing cards to add for you. But first, let's get into 10 cuts.
Our first high power cut is Lazotep Chancellor. It's deeply ironic to me that they wanted to create a mechanic that represents a huge army, and they did that by putting it all on one token. Like, it's just the opposite of what this deck needs.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Our second cut is Binding Mummy.
Our third cut is Fleshbag Marauder. Although it's a zombie, it's kind of designed to just die, so it doesn't need to be, so it's not sticking around, and then it's too easy for an opponent to sack a 1/1 or something.
Our fourth cut is Never Return. In all seriousness, it's just so overcost. It is nice having removal, but we're never going to be casting Return.
Our fifth cut is Eternal Skylord.
You're a mass hater, bro.
Can you blame me?
No.
Can you blame me? The zombie tokens I control have flying would be cool if the deck was better at generating tokens that weren't in a mass army, and 5 is just way too many for that effect.
Our 6th cut is Champion of Wits. Our commander pumps our guys after we get Champion of Wits effect off. It's just kind of awkward and clunky, and it's more meant for the alt commander.
Our 7th cut is Commence the Endgame. Fucking another mass card.
I didn't even realize that. It's just so overcosted for high-powered tables.
Yeah.
Our 8th cut is Crypt Breaker. This is so close to being playable, but this is, again, an alt commander card.
Definitely. Discarding a whole card to get a zombie token is not worth it. Our 9th cut is Gravecrawler. Great reprint, super cool card for not this deck. We are not really
for Hashiton either.
No, we're not really doing aristocrats. This is the Conjurer's Closet of this deck.
That's a reference. You need to watch the other video.
Yeah, go watch the other video.
Our 10th cut is Orzhov Basilica.
We're high power. We can cut one more land.
But some cards that we do want, starting at 1, we have Black Market Connections. This makes zombies, this draws, this rams, it's Black Market Connections.
Our second ad is 3 Steps Ahead. Super versatile card that's going to either double up our value piece, draw cards to pump our team, or counter a spell to keep our team.
We love flexibility.
Oh yeah,
straight up.
And especially 1 or more.
Our third ad is Clever Concealment. If you're ever looking to go wide, play Clever Concealment.
Especially with the popularity of cards like Farewell, Cyclonic Rift, stuff that doesn't destroy.
Oh yeah, Phase Out is real nice.
Our 4th and 5th ads are Jace the Mind Sculptor and the One Ring. These are both permanents that are going to let us draw a lot of cards for no mana.
And our 6th ad, is Roaming Throne. We know.
I know.
It's not very unique.
Roaming Throne is good.
Yeah, well, of course. But when there's 2 triggers on your commander, can you blame us? On your draw step, you get +2/+2 to everything. On your attack, you get draw 2, discard 2. You also get +4/+4. So you have +6/+6 on just your baby. Of course you play Roaming Throne.
Our 7th card is Wand of Orcus. Temmet does actually buff himself, so even just with Wand of Orcus, he's swinging as a 6/6 Vigilance, Menace, Death Touch, generating you 6 potential zombies every turn.
Our 8th, 9th, and 10th ads are Nano Gene Conversion, Cover of Darkness, and Raise the Palisade. These end games. Real quick math on Nano Gene Conversion, by the way. If you have 4 versions of your commander, that's +16/+16 to every single one of them on an attack.
The Anthem is genuinely exponential. The number of creatures you have, their buff is squared. Now that we set you up to end the game, let's just end the